Have you ever just stopped and wondered what keeps our language from being a total mess of random words? Well, today we're diving into grammar. And no, not the dusty old rule book you remember from school. We're talking about grammar as the invisible blueprint that gives everything we say and write its shape, its structure, and its power.
So really, what is it? What's the secret sauce? What's the fundamental framework that actually holds a language together? The thing that lets billions of us basically understand each other.
To get to the bottom of that, we're going to pull back the curtain on this so-called hidden blueprint. We're going to define the very foundation of how we all communicate.
And the answer is grammar. But hold on, before you have flashbacks to middle school English class, this is different. As our source material puts it, grammar is the base of language. It's the architect's plan that organizes our words and gives them actual meaning.
Think about it like this. Language without grammar is just a big old pile of bricks sitting on the ground. It's just a chaotic mess. Grammar is the design, the plan, that turns that pile of bricks into a house. It turns random noise into something that makes sense.
Okay, so if grammar is this super important blueprint, how do we get our hands on it? I mean, how do we actually master this thing? Well, this brings us to a really important distinction.
You know, a lot of us think we just sort of absorb grammar naturally, the same way a toddler learns to talk. But here's the twist. Our source material is pretty clear that that's a big misconception. True grammatical skill isn't something you just acquire by being around words. It's a skill you have to intentionally learn.
Yep, as the source says right here, it's learned, not acquired. Mastering grammar is a conscious thing you have to do. It's kind of the difference between walking through a construction site every day versus actually sitting down and studying the architectural plans to see how it all fits together. So if grammar is the blueprint, what are the actual materials we're building with? Let's take a look at the core components, the real building blocks of meaning. Our source points to a few key things here. For instance, we've got tenses, which is really just how we talk about time. The difference between I walk and I walked. Then you've got modal verbs, words like can, should, or might that add all this nuance. And of course, there are things like phrasal verbs, think check in or give up, that combine words to create whole new meanings. These are the fundamental tools in our toolbox.
And the main thing to remember is that these aren't just abstract terms from a textbook. They are the actual, tangible materials, the bricks, the mortar, the beams, that you use to construct every single sentence.
Okay, so we've got our building materials, but you can't just pile them up in any old way and expect to get a house, right? You need an instruction manual, and that brings us to the rules of assembly.
And that instruction manual has a name. It's called syntax. According to our source, syntax is the set of rules that tells us which word orders are even allowed in a language. It tells you exactly where each brick and beam needs to go for the whole structure to actually stand up.
And it all boils down to this really simple but powerful idea. Word order isn't random. It's what creates the meaning in the first place. I mean, this classic example says it all. The dog bit the man. Okay, we get it. Unfortunate, but clear. Now just swap two words. The man bit the dog. Whoa, that's a completely different story. That's a headline. Same exact words, but a whole different meaning. That is the power of syntax.
So let's tie this on together. We have our components, our bricks. We have our rules for how to assemble them, our syntax. But why does any of this actually matter in the real world?
Well, our source reminds us that grammar's playground is the sentence. This isn't some high-level abstract theory. It's about the practical skill of putting together clear and effective sentences, one after another, to build powerful ideas, arguments, and even stories.
So here it is, the whole journey laid out. You start with the raw materials, your words. You apply the rules of assembly, the syntax, and what you get at the end is clear, solid meaning. It's literally the path from chaos to clarity.
And this is the ultimate payoff. Mastering this blueprint isn't just an academic exercise. It's about empowering yourself. It's about making your own communication clearer, more effective, and a lot more powerful in every single part of your life.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought. If grammar is the blueprint that gives structure and meaning to everything we say, what are you building with your words today? An argument? A story? A relationship? Because the quality of whatever you're building, it depends entirely on how well you know the plan.